rain, and the hillside is one gray smear between the trees. Gaius feels it running down inside his collar, cold as a fact. He is fourth from the left in the second rank, shield arm numb from the weight of it, boss dented, paint chipped, a stranger's blood dried into the wood 2 campaigns before he ever touched it. Up the slope, past the tree lean, thousands of British warriors are massing in the wet bracken, and he can hear them before he can see them. Horn calls, a rising chant, the drum of bare feet on packed earth. Beside him a recruit half his age grips his javelins so tightly his knuckles have gone white. Nobody mocks him for it. In front of the line, the centurion walks the ranks unhurried, transverse crest running wet down his neck, vine staff loose in one hand, as if inspecting a drill and not a battle. "Close up," he says. "Close up and hold." Gaius tightens his grip on his pilum and thinks, absurdly, of the exact weight of his father's ox goad, worn smooth by 40 years of one man's hand. Then the chant breaks into a scream, and the tribal line comes down through the rain like a wave leaving a beach, and somewhere to his left a voice bawls the order to loose. What happens in the next quarter hour will decide whether he goes home a name on a discharge record or does not go home at all. This is Britain, the far edge of the Roman world, the middle of the 1st century after Christ. This is the story of what it was actually like to serve in Rome's legions, told through one man's eyes. He is a composite, drawn from many real men who marched this same road. Everything around him is real. His name is Gaius, and 11 years ago, he had never thrown anything heavier than a rake. 11 years earlier, Gaius's whole world is a family farm outside a country town, walled in by vineyard terraces and a river he has swum since he could walk. He is not the only son, and the plot, thin already in his grandfather's day, will not comfortably feed 2 households once he and his brother both marry. Rome's recruiting officers, when they come through at the spring levy, are not looking for the town's idle sons. They want exactly what a farm makes. Young men used to a full day's labor, hard hands, strong backs, patience for repetition. A veteran centurion runs his eye down the line of hopefuls with the flat, appraising look of a man buying oxen. Gaius, a citizen by birth, is measured, questioned, and passed. He raises his right hand with the others and repeats the military oath, binding himself to obey his officers and never desert the standards, on pain of a soldier's harshest justice. In return, he is issued the beginnings of a legionary's kit from the fort stores, a mail shirt worn soft by another man's shoulders, a rectangular shield, 2 throwing javelins, and a marching pack so heavy the veterans have a joke for it older than any man now serving. They call a recruit a mule, and mean it kindly, and mean it literally. Gaius shoulders the pack for the first time and nearly staggers. An old soldier claps him once on the shoulder and says nothing else needs saying, "You'll grow into it, or you won't." He is marched out of the vineyard valley behind a column of other new mules, and does not look back, because there is, for now, nothing behind him worth the look. The fort is a small town of straight lines and shouted orders, and the first thing the army teaches a farmer's son is that soldiering is mostly labor. He digs. He carries. Under the eye of a scarred veteran instructor, a centurion named Rufus, he has set the recruit's standard test long before he is trusted with a real blade. A 20 Roman mile march, in full kit, inside 5 hours, at what the drill masters call military pace. Push the pace faster, and the standard climbs to 24. Gaius's shoulders burn under the pack for a month before his stride stops betraying him. Weapons training is its own harvest. Not against another man, not yet. Against a wooden post driven into the drill yard, waist high, with a shield and sword twice the weight of the real thing, so the real thing, when it finally comes, will feel almost light in his hand. Rufus corrects his grip with a short vine staff and no patience for excuses. "Thrust," he says, "don't cut. A cut can heal. A thrust past a man's ribs does not." Every evening on the march, even when no enemy has been seen in days, the column stops and builds a fortified camp from nothing. A ditch, a rampart, a fenced perimeter, torn down at dawn and rebuilt from nothing the next evening. A discipline old enough that it was already being described as a Roman peculiarity generations before Gaius was born. At night, he eats plain grain ration, ground and cooked at his own fire, mends his sandals, and listens to older soldiers grade the ways a recruit can embarrass himself in his first real fight. He is 20 years old. He has still never seen a battle. That changes in the spring. On a wet hillside he has not yet heard the name of. We are back on that hillside. In the rain, second rank, the order to loose already leaving his officer's lips. A volley of iron-tipped javelins goes up and out together, and the world changes shape. The soft iron shank behind each point often bends on impact. A javelin caught in a shield cannot easily be pulled free and thrown back, and for a moment the front of the charging line is a tangle of men dragging suddenly useless, deadweight shields. Then the gap closes, and it is the sword's turn. Rufus's voice behind him, flat and carrying, thrust, close up, thrust. Gaius does not feel brave. He feels crowded and deafened, and entirely too busy to be afraid in the way he expected to be afraid. The short blade goes in and comes back, in and back, the shield boss doing as much work as the point, shoving a man off balance before the sword ever needs to finish him. It is graceless and close, and nothing like the stories veterans tell in camp. When the tribal line finally breaks and streams back up through the wet bracken, Gaius is still standing in his place, second rank, breathing like he has run 5 miles. Beside him, the recruit who gripped his javelins too tight is not standing at all. That evening the century buries him properly, a name and his years of service to be cut later into a stone marker at the fort, the kind of small, permanent record that will still be legible on weathered gravestones 2,000 years after every man on this hillside is forgotten by name. Rufus looks at Gaius for a long moment in the firelight and says only, "You held. Report to the standard tomorrow as a soldier of the line, not a recruit." A legion is a small city that needs more than spearmen to keep it standing, and it turns out Gaius has a second use. He can read enough to keep a tally and count well enough not to lose the count. Requisitions, watch rosters, the endless paperwork of an army that moves grain, timber, and men by the thousand. All of it needs hands that can write a straight line and not cheat a number. When the fort's clerks fall short during a hard building season, Rufus, of all people, recommends him for the work, half as a joke about the mule who turned out to have a mind. Testing shows he also has a use for a plumb line, sighting a straight ditch and a level rampart. Useful when the Legion builds the timber and turf skeleton of a new frontier fort. Gaius is examined, approved, and formally listed among the immunes, the Legion's skilled specialists, still ordinary soldiers, still paid the same base wage as the man beside him in the ranks, but excuse the daily list of menial fatigues, the firewood and latrine details that eat a normal soldier's day. Elsewhere in the army, men have been known to simply bribe a hard centurion for that same exemption. Gaius earns his for nothing but a straight ditch and an honest tally. It changes everything about how his years pass. He works indoors, out of the worst weather, trusted with the century's tools and the fort's timber accounts, and finds, to his own surprise, that he is proud of a kind of usefulness that has nothing to do with a blade at all. His father raised oxen and wheat. His son is going to be remembered by his officers for a straight ditch and an honest ledger. Years accumulate the way sediment does, one campaign season settling on the last, and Gaius rises with them. He is chosen, on Rufus's recommendation again, to stand as optio, the deputy who stands at the rear of the century in battle to catch stragglers and hold the line from behind, and in camp runs the daily duty rosters the centurion has no time for. It carries higher pay than an ordinary soldier draws, a mark of rank on his kit, and a short staff of his own, a lesser twin to the centurion's vine stick. Some men in his position become standard bearers instead. The signifer, who carries the century's standard into battle and, by custom, keeps the unit's savings besides, or the aquilifer, who carries the legion's eagle itself and answers for its safety with his life. Gaius is offered neither post and does not mind. The optio's staff suits him. He now drills recruits himself on the same packed earth yard where Rufus once corrected his own grip and finds himself repeating, almost word for word, the same flat, patient corrections. Thrust, don't cut. Close up, again. He watches a new intake of farm boys shoulder the pack for the first time and nearly stagger under it, exactly as he once did, and does not laugh, because nobody laughed at him either. He is, by any measure, a farmer's son from a shrinking vineyard plot could reasonably have hoped for, a successful soldier of Rome. There is only one rank left above him that still feels, most days, like someone else's country. That rank is centurion, and Gaius has done the arithmetic more than once around a winter fire. A legion of some 5,000 men carries only about 60 centurions in its whole establishment, and the paths there run mostly around men like him. A well-connected young man of equestrian rank can be commissioned straight into a centurionate with no years in the ranks at all, while a career soldier climbs there only after decades and exceptional conduct. Rufus made it. Gaius has had a good career, but not, in the end, that one. He watches younger, better-connected men pin on the crest he will now never wear, and the resentment burns for an evening and no longer, because it is hard to stay bitter about a door that was always narrow for nearly everyone who stood in this line. When his service is complete, he is discharged honorably, with a grant of land or coin the state has promised men like him since before he enlisted. He is, as a citizen by birth, already everything a legionary needed to be. It is the auxiliary soldiers beside whom he fought, provincial men without citizenship at enlistment, who receive theirs only now, on bronze discharge tablets at this same ceremony, proof their descendants will produce generations later of where a family began. A farmer's son on the far side of the world once measured his life in the weight of a bucket of water from his mother's field. Gaius measures his in the weight of a marching pack that nearly broke him at 19 and that he could, by the end, carry all day without noticing. Somewhere at this fort, a stonecutter will one day cut his name, unit, and years of service into stone meant to outlast him. That, as close as we can stand to it, is what it was like to serve in Rome's legions. Subscribe to Era Witness, and we'll meet you in the next stage.